Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Necrox here, bringing you our week number 7, I believe, of Excellency Heavy. Man, it's already 6, right? Or am
Necrox.
I just delusional?
I believe it's 6, buddy.
5, 6, 7? I don't know. Man, today has been so crazy because I've had to look at your tier lists for what you think are good desserts, what you think's good cartoons.
I think you and the Lotus Org just don't know how to count, considering the Lotus Org has an extra game to play now after what happened last week.
Yeah, well, luckily they get their rematch after a little bit of shenanigans, but we can get into that later on in the day. We got business to take care of, boys. I'll be honest. There's no funny business going on tonight. You guys have some of the worst tier lists I've ever seen. Uncultured, unprepared for what's going on.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Just give us what you got here, Necrox, and we'll take you apart.
I mean, I'm not sure. This isn't my tier list that's up on the screen.
Oh, so that's mine.
Yeah, you gotta defend this.
See, this is a tier list of culture. This is a tier list of individuals who respect themselves. All right. Somebody already mentioned Red Velvet not being in at least the I like category. You don't like yourself. The thing is it's better than cupcakes, all right, but it's not as good as like pie. Now, I'm a pie guy. I've always been a pie guy. I like pie. Pie is basically pumpkin pie. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Bob. See, the thing with a good pumpkin pie is you can't mess it up. You can't mess it up. And it's always going to be really, really good. Cake in general, going to rate significantly lower. Of course, donut's going to kind of bridge that gap between the two. And on the bottom, you might notice a few things like Rice Krispie treats. You got s'mores. Meh. Anything that you can get out of a tube, like that weird froyo stuff, get that out. Popsicles. I don't like it. No. All right. If I'm feeling a little dirty about myself, if I'm having a dark day, maybe in an episode or so, I'll eat some confetti cake. I'll eat something along those lines. If a girl really wants to go out with me, we're gonna get some ice cream. Okay, I'll do it. Okay. I like me some pretzels.
Okay, Necrox and Doctor, but before I let you guys tear this apart, I will say this makes sense to me because Juicebox Guy is a Clonk Gronk Zonk fan, and he's a Glaive Amethyst fan. Yeah, and if he's a pie guy and he thinks that you can't go wrong with pie, well, you can't go wrong with Glaive Amethyst. But just like Glaive Amethyst, you can't go wrong with them, but maybe you're not going to get too spicy with anything. So, as much as I might disagree with some of this, it makes sense coming from Juicebox. So I like this list. It encapsulates you, Juicebox, and your fandom.
Thank you, DJ.
Yeah, basic white girl type of stuff here, right? Just like pumpkin pie every time it rolls around in October. You're like, oh my gosh, pumpkin pie. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like
cheesecake doesn't belong on this list.
How are chocolate chip cookies that you just like?
I don't know. You've ever heard a girl say they like pumpkin pie?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Okay, this is my tier list. This is clearly superior. I just went through classic.
Why is candy corn so high?
Wait, are those candied apples?
Yes, those are candied apples. What did you think
I thought they were the cherries. The sweet cherries. You know, like covered in. Yeah.
Okay, where would you put candied apples then?
Probably like B tier, C tier. They're like
okay, that's a little better.
Average. Whoops. Apparently, I'm telling you, my eyes don't work very well. The biggest difference here, to me, is chocolate chip cookies are S tier. How do you not think chocolate chip cookies are like just the best at every occasion?
Because they're not. Because they're not pie. That's gonna be. Go ahead, Doc.
I'll give you cookies. What? Have you guys ever made them with vanilla pudding in it as well? Like you just make like your general chocolate chip cookie mixture and you add like a package of vanilla pudding. Oh god.
No, because I enjoy being able to walk after I eat.
Well, that's a personal problem.
No, I have not, but I think any type of chocolate chip cookies is like S tier every time. Chat, hear me out. You walk into like an event.
Trash tier.
You walk into an event and you see a dessert spread. And there's like everything there, everything normal, not like stupid stuff like pecan pie, like who eats that? But you walk in, there's normal stuff, and you're like, okay, I'm scared at this event because what if I eat something that's not good? I don't have to sit here awkwardly and pretend to like it. What do you go for? It's always the cookies.
Yeah, but you know why? Is because there's no risk, all right? There's no risk, there's no reward. If you eat a cookie, you get a cookie. It has a very, very set ceiling, and it has a very set floor of being from like here to here, all right?
Your argument for pumpkin pie was that it can't go wrong. Then come in here and say that exact argument doesn't work for chocolate cookies.
Pumpkin pie is a glorious invention, and its ceiling. The worst pie is above the best cookie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just false.
I think my tier list is better, but we don't have too much time, so we got to move on to our third one. I'm who's third? Do we know?
Let's find out. That looks like me.
Okay.
So Necrox, I definitely got you on the cookies. I think you can just do so much with cookies, so it's really easy, and it's good for any occasion. You can bake almonds into them. You can bake pecans. I'm a big fan of pecans. Is probably the one thing about me that stands out. That is why my pecan pie is very high there. Outside of that, I think I'm not a huge pie guy. I think apple pie is fine. I think the rest are kind of Not a huge cake guy unless it's red velvet, which is why I see red velvet there at the top of the table. I think a good cinnamon roll is absolutely tops, but I think it can be hard to make them appropriately. And then for me on the bottom, the things that are going to stand out as being weird. Not a huge fan of macaroons. Hate candy corn. I know that one's very, very divisive. Can't stand that one. And Oreos, again, just so easy to add. And I like stuff that's simple to add, that gets in there, that's going to be consistent, that can fit into every occasion. Something like, let's see, I'm trying to think of who would make sense for that description. Who can fit in every occasion for me? Someone like Akuma. I feel like they can fit into every occasion. I like to talk about Akuma. I like to see Giga play multiple different champions. So I think this one makes sense to me. And now I'll let you guys flame me.
Red velvet cake is just hot garbage, DJ. What? That's why I had to leave. I had to recompose myself. I've eaten garbage that's better than the best red velvet cake.
You've eaten garbage?
Tough, man.
Well, nice. That would explain.
That's so Doctor's obviously been hanging around Buc-ee's too often, if that's the case.
Ooh.
Listen, we're going to the moon together. We swung our rocket packs and we're just going.
Why are we talking about the candy corn of teams? Let's keep this train. Let's keep this train on.
Let's see Doctor's list. Let's see Doctor's list.
Superior tier list coming up.
Let's see this. Let's see what a PhD gets you.
All right, we got chocolate chip cookies again, best S tier. Apple pie.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the best thing you can eat. What's better than an apple pie? I think that next one. I think it's an apple. Oh, it's a lemon meringue pie. I'm a sucker for citrus. So, lemons, anything with it. It's just god tier. And then how can you go wrong with caramel? Like, this is a perfect tier list.
Okay, but Jello is garbage, or sorry, below garbage. What is that? Is that what I'm seeing?
It's just there's not a lot to it. It's just squishy. It's a texture thing.
It's not a chocolate chip cookie either.
Have you never jiggled Jello on your spoon? Like, that's just amazing. That's an experience you don't get anywhere else in any other dessert universe other than this one we live in here. Jello is like at least D or C tier.
I don't want my food to go. I don't want that. I don't want that.
Why not? Oh my gosh, that's
it's
so
enjoyable to me.
I'm gonna get flamed for what I just did on air, but come on.
I mean, I'm trying to think of what else is poor on here. I mean, we got all the good fruit-based desserts at the top. We got all the fake, desserts at the bottom, minus Oreos, but that's just because they're so flexible.
You have Oreos and
on churros. I'm not gonna lie, churros are
fine. They're fine. All right, they're decent.
Why they're there? They're in C tier because they're okay.
Caramel sauce as well. You go to Disney World, you're walking around saying hi to Mickey, dipping your churro in your caramel sauce. That's good times. That's good living.
They didn't have churros last time I went to Disney. I was also 8, so I don't know. Come on.
Well,
all right,
you just lived a sad life.
Up to the real decisive stuff, the real divisive stuff. Cartoon.
Yeah. It's time to. Well, I don't know if we have time for the cartoons here, unfortunately.
Sadly, we are going to have to skip, but we will hopefully have a chance to do it either post-show with the audience, maybe in supporter chat or something like that. But we got to get into teams, which is, let's be honest, what probably everyone is here for. But this is first.
Yeah, no more talking in metaphors. We're getting down and dirty here.
Getting juicy with Juicebox guy. Glaive Esports gotta be at the top. I mean, come on, dude. They have been destroying everybody, and you can't have the defending champions any lower than S tier because let's be real here. All right, these are the sort of guys that turn it online when it comes to playoffs. These are they joke around, they play around, they have fun, and then they get into the end game, and it's time to bring out that Thanos snap and start dissipating some of these other teams. You got Lotus and YO Boomers sort of sitting a tier below. Akuma, I don't have a lot of faith in these guys. I think they're okay. I don't think they're bad, but I don't think they can match up to any of the top 4 teams. Chrome and New Age, they're going to be scrapping it out to see who ekes their way into playoffs. Catalyst and Bucky's, I mean, the only good thing about Catalyst is they're not Bucky's.
I don't mind this tier list actually. I'm on board with this for the most part. Mine's pretty similar. I don't know if you guys have any big discrepancies.
My only thing is I think I would probably drop VBO down one just because Glaive has proven that they're just so far and away above everybody else that I think that they do deserve a tier all of their own, but I think you just kind of copy pasted the standings if we're going to be honest here.
Well, I think the standings are there for a reason, and if you want to get too creative with it and try to big brain your way, then I think you're being a little bit too cocky in your own analytical ability. And honestly, that's not even true what you said, because I have the Akuma Glaives in B tier below 4 other teams who are all, and 3 of which are lower than them in the standings.
Yeah, that's going to be my big disagreement when my tier list comes up here is the placement of Akuma, but I'll wait for my tier list to come to explain my reasoning.
All right. Well, I'm pretty sure mine's next, and I have one thing on my tier list.
We all know what it is, Necrox. It's not even a surprise.
Boom! There it is. Hit you with the hammer. Lotus at the top. Now let me explain. Now, guys, I wouldn't know where you'd get this inkling that I'm a biased caster, but let me tell you why I think Lotus is at the top. If you've seen Alistair, this man is performing consistently every game. I've seen him. I've fallen in love with him. Teaches me how to play AD carry as well, so couldn't really ask for much more. All they need to do is get the pieces of the puzzle to start fitting together, and I can tell you that Lotus is going to be in the contention for first, if not at least second. So I really think Lotus is at the top here. You guys are sleeping on them. They're kind of sleeping on themselves right now, but
yeah. Can we get some palm goats? Can we get some palm goats in the chat, guys, please? Thank you.
Any palmers in the chat?
And like a face palm.
I debated making a separate tier outside of D tier for Bucky's, just naming it like Bucky's tier because
it's essentially what it is, I think, unfortunately.
They're in a league of their own.
Ruthless.
And getting their only win revoked, it's a tier joker.
That was really brutal.
Ugh. It hurts my heart every time to hear it. But I think we're all consistent for the most part. I just knocked VBO down one because I think VBO has been mediocre.
Here's my question for you. What is the reasoning for having Catalyst and Orbital in the same tier? And this is something that I'll have to explain as well, as that looks like Juicebox got. That is my meme tier list. That's a meme tier list. That's not the real one.
I was about to say, what in the world was that?
Bucky's an S tier. Bucky's is an S tier meme team, but not an S tier team, unfortunately, at the moment. I'll have to wait and see. There's my meme tier list again.
I put them at the same spot just because they're not too far away in the standings. The only separating one is New Age, but I whatever. I don't know. They're just kind of mediocre, but let's keep it going.
Well, I can explain my memes tier list while we look for the correct graphic here. So Vlad Banners, classically throwing game 2s on purpose. You gotta love it. That's a fun meme, and you always got Prophet and Jimmy in chat talking about how they're betting their game 2 wins and losses in Vegas. The Boomers, of course, not enough needs, don't even need to say anything. You can see it in the logo. You can see it in the players. It's hilarious. Bucky's story has to be at a top tier meme. It's just a little unfortunate, but they lean into it too. So that's the S tier. And then New Age, the 1-1 Kings, they like to go ham. We know Potato Senpai's got those weird Elise picks coming out. Glaive Amethyst, I think, is up in A tier almost entirely because Starling will flame his team during the games they're playing, which I find absolutely hilarious. Lotus and Akuma have some good rivalries going on. I think they get involved, but haven't been involved in Heavy League chat. And then haven't heard a lot from Catalyst Blaze and haven't heard practically anything from Orbital, which is why they end up in C and D tier for our meme tier list. But do we have the real tier list here?
Indeed. So this is like the more mellowed out version.
There we go. So that's
sort of back to Lotus in B tier, man. TJ, I thought we were better friends than that.
Absolutely here. So the big issue that I have with, well, we'll talk about two things. So number one, I think Vlad Banners belongs in S tier with Glaive simply because I do think Glaive has been much better in the regular season and is a more consistent team. But I think it's because Vlad honestly just throws games in the regular season. I don't think they care about the regular season. I think they know they're good. They know they're going to make playoffs, and they are going to turn it on in playoffs as they did last season. So I expect them to be dangerous in playoffs. And when I have seen them play with their full potential and draft seriously, they have smashed teams, just like they did to Lotus last week in both games. So I'm convinced they are still an S tier team, and I expect them to be very competitive in playoffs. Akuma, I think, is above B tier because they have more skilled players in a lot of positions, and I have seen improvement in their team play as the season's gone on, and I think I have seen them show a higher ceiling so far than teams like New Age and the likes of Lotus. I put Wild Boomers ahead of them because Palm Goat and Birdman are absolutely smurfing the league right now. Those two, in my mind, are going to be at this rate in the team of the year, team one for bottom lane. 9 kills and 7 assists a game for Palm Goat has been insane. Birdman is leading the league with 15 assists per game. These guys are nuts. I think Lotus can climb up the table, but unfortunately, I think you saw it kind of in chat as well. Alistair, to me, is one of their only consistent players at the moment. They're having some lineup changes also in the middle of the season, as we do have a substitution at top lane this week. So there's a lot of question marks I have about Lotus, and when they have performed in front of me, I have not been overall that impressed with their ability. I think they can climb higher, but for me right now, they are a B tier team. The one thing that I think I could be wrong about today is mostly the Catalyst Blaze and Orbital, because Orbital is in a playoff position regardless of how their season started, and they are on stream for both games today, and they have a huge chance to prove me wrong with this C tier pick. And I know I talked to Slashdiv earlier today. He is very excited about their chances to go to playoffs and is very excited about the new patch. So I am actually looking to be proven wrong by Orbital today.
I mean, Slashdiv also just bet their life savings on GME. So, I mean,
are we really sure today,
they're making the correct decisions? We got one tier list left, guys.
I'm excited for Orbital Chrome. I think that's probably the team that we've all slept on the most. But it's kind of hard not to sleep on them, right? They're such a middle of the pack team. Your eyes are never drawn to like Orbital Chrome, who's 6 out of 9 now. So they're kind of just chilling in the middle, waiting for something to sort of write their story. And tonight would be the night for them to do that. I know we've sort of mellowed out of the memes and are really hammering now on who has a playoff spot. But Orbital Chrome, tonight is your night. Like, you are the team to prove yourself and move yourself out of this D tier. We're all talking about
they're really good.
VBO.
Yeah, they're really going to have to move themselves out of Doctor's tier list here. Doctor, what do you have to say to Orbital Chrome? They're down there with Bucky's in D tier.
This is even
you guys
worse.
might get a win next week since you're playing Bucky's, but I think this week, just chalk it, boys. I mean, you're up against Lotus and the Boomers, some of the top tier.
They 2-0'd Boomers a week and a half ago.
That was a week and a half. That was a patch ago. DJ, come on. We have things like Frostglaive, or no, not Frostglaive. What's the heck that I just
Everfrost?
Everfrost. Yeah, that item's busted now. Just every mid laner is going to pick it. It's going to be a nightmare. But no, I mean, again, I've already kind of gone into some of why the tier list is the way it is. Again, Glaive, they're just so far and away above everybody else in the standings. And from what we've seen so far, they've had some of the fastest wins all season. Boomers and the VBO squad, I do think that they are going to be the biggest competition, at least in these last couple of weeks. VBO, they have the crown for a reason. They can do it again. I know that their game 2 is a meme, but sometimes you kind of get stuck in that. And, as we head into playoffs, they're pretty much a lock for it. But, when it hits these best of 3s and these best of 5s, like, are you still going to be giving up a meme game just to, collect info or whatever it is? If you are, that's still problematic because, one mistake in the meta can just blow up your whole spot. Lotus, they struggled against VBO quite a lot. So I don't really see them as the same tier. New Age, again, they've done some stuff, but very middling. Catalyst Blaze has been such a huge disappointment for me personally, because I had such high hopes coming into the league for them, because the organization itself had done very well in mid league, claiming second, and then I thought they were going to do more, and they just haven't really shown it. New Age, again, kind of middling, but I feel like they haven't done quite as well as like Akuma Glaives or Lotus themselves. And then, yeah, Bucky's, it's self-explanatory, and Orbital Chrome, we'll see you next week, guys.
I mean, they got 2 games on stream tonight. Orbital Chrome are back-to-back on stream. So if we're interested in what this team can do and what they will do, we're all going to get to watch it live. So this should be a very, very fun night for this organization, as we're all going to witness either the rise to greatness in taking down YO Boomers and Lotus, or falling down to the bottom of the pack. So it's going to happen one way or the other.
Yeah, and it really will be so critically important because, as mentioned, they are in a playoff position right now. They're sitting in 6th place, I think just a little bit above New Age at the moment. So this is a critical week for the likes of Orbital Chrome if they want to make that playoff push here in their first season. And I know, like I said, talking to Slashdiv, they believe it can happen. It's been mixed results, particularly in the start of the season, but they're pretty confident in the new patch, and they need to prove it tonight if they want to slide into those playoff positions and give themselves a chance to really turn around their record against sort of the top 4, which has been really bad this season.
Yeah, I'm on the train with you, and as my clock almost strikes 7, we're going to transition to this desk, which is brought to you by Doctor and myself. So let's go on out of here, Doc.